left field. This is driven back. Gurriel fielding for the wall. And it's over the fence. It's out of his glove. It's an assist from Gurriel to left. Dylan Moore, a home run with a nice bow wrapped around it.
An early gift from the Blue Jays. Gurriel able to smile. I'm sure Dylan Moore able to smile about that one as well. All part of a Mariners 8-3 Game 1 win. Now, this is just a short 4-game homestand, but an important one because the Blue Jays, again, ahead of the Mariners now by 3 in the AL wildcard standings. Marco Gonzalez, another gem, his 11th quality start. That leads the team. Offense, 8 runs, good defense as well. The skipper, though, starting his post-game comments with letting us all know where this team is right now.
Took us a while to get here, but we're at 500. And, I think it's a fun game tonight. We did a lot of really good things early in the ball game, offensively, to get some really good at-bats. Starting the game off, Ty's first pitch he sees, it's Ty France, takes a single the other way. Santana, big hit there early on. Gino, big homer. 3 ribbies, Cal Raleigh, a lot of really good things offensively, which is great to see to get this series underway. But again, story of the game, starting pitching. It's been really solid through this run that we've had to get us back to 500. And Marco, they hit some balls hard. They got some soft hits. I thought our defense tonight was outstanding. Obviously, the play that JP made in the hole, and kind of the play that goes under the radar a little bit in the 5th inning. They're starting to come back against us. Gino gets in the right spot. Frazier hits the cutoff man. We redirect and get Guerrero out in a run down there and get us out of the inning. So a lot of really good things to lean on and talk about in this game, but we keep rolling. It's a really good offensive team over there. The Blue Jays, that really deep lineup, and certainly as many right-handed hitters as they have in there. Marco did a really good job to keep them right there tonight. So, like I said, nice way to start the series, and a lot of good things to talk about. Offensively, defensively, pitching. Well-played game on our side, I thought.
Nice to see Marco get some support. He hasn't gotten much recently.
No, we haven't. We haven't scored many runs when Marco's been out there. So to get those runs up early and then keep tacking them on, I think was really important. For him to keep attacking the strike zone and doing what he does.
And Pitt Murphy, once again, he came in a big spot and came through for you guys. Yeah,
because our starting pitching has been going so deep in games and being very consistent, we've been able to give those guys a little bit of a break down there. And they're all very capable, but Penn did a heck of a job. It's a good lineup for him, with what he's sinking it and the slider, but got some big outs for us there and give some other guys a break that we're going to need here later in this series.
Scott, you've talked about hitting being contagious with your guys, but what in particular have you seen over the past few weeks? Is it adjustments? Is it less pressing?
Well, certainly not pressing like we were earlier. We're getting the big hits with runners in scoring position, and that's what happens when you get a couple to fall in there and guys start feeding off each other, and that's what we're seeing going on now. But just keep the line moving. I do think you look at where Gino's at and the kind of season he's had, and we can talk about his defense and the improvements he made there to we're blue in the face. It has been fantastic what he's done defensively, but offensively, he'll have streaks where, he strikes out and it looks like he's never going to get another hit again. But this guy has a plan. He has a plan when he goes up there. He's very comfortable hitting with runners in scoring position. He's gotten a lot of big hits for us this year, and he's going to continue to hit some home runs. There's no question about that. He smoked that ball tonight.
Beyond Gino.
I think we can all agree, Gino coming over from that trade from Cincinnati, we're thinking, defense, how's he going to do at third base? We know we can hit home runs, but we've been able to see both this year.
Yeah, and it's interesting, too. And you're right. That was the conversation. Obviously, with the offense, can he get back to 2019 form, I think, for him? And he has. Swings and misses have gone down a ton. But the defense, on the other side of the ball, Perry Hill, I've got to say, has a big part to this.
Yes.
He does, because there's this routine they have before batting practice, before stretch every single day. I think Eugenio Suarez has really bought into that. That's something he wanted to come and be an upgrade. Obviously, Kyle Seager, big shoes to fill. But, man, it's been nice seeing what he's been doing at third base.
Yeah, getting it done offensively as well tonight. 3 RBI. All right, this was not the only big thing going on with a local team involved. We go to our Ford Sports Desk and bring in Tom Glasgow. Recap the NHL draft tonight, my friend.
Yeah, Brad, terrific stuff for the Seattle Kraken. Of course, Root Sports, your home of Kraken hockey. The NHL entry draft getting underway this evening with round one. The draft being hosted in Montreal. The Canadiens were the first overall pick, and many in the know thought they would take center Shane Wright. Well, guess what? They didn't, and Wright ended up dropping to number 4 overall, and that's where GM Ron Francis nabbed him. Wright, an 18-year-old center, played for Kingston Junior Hockey in the Ontario Hockey League last season, scored 92 points, 32 goals, 62 assists, a guy that could be making a lot of noise for the Kraken for many years to come. Roost Sports Kraken analyst Allison Lucan has more from Montreal on a player many believe has the right stuff.
Thanks so much, Tom. It's been an exciting day here in Montreal. Round one of the 2022 entry draft has concluded, and the Kraken come away with a player who was arguably the top player available in the draft. Even though the Kraken picked at number 4, we heard names we expected to hear at the beginning of the draft selection, but they weren't in the order we expected to hear them. And now the Kraken have Shane Wright, a center who's going to come to the organization after playing in the OHL. He's a player who had what's called exceptional status. It's a very rare honor that goes to only a handful of players in the history of hockey, but it speaks to the talent that he can bring. This is a player that when we heard from Ron Francis after the draft ended today, that can make plays that set up other teammates to make plays of their own. It's not necessarily the big flashy plays, but the little connective plays that can get that puck into scoring situations. This is a player who has defensive ability. Dave Hackstall talked about that, and also someone who can score. The scouts were so excited too. Head of amateur scouting, Robert Cron, couldn't keep the smile off his face when he talked about watching the teams in front of Seattle select, leaving Shane Wright to them. They knew they were going to get one of 2 centers, and it ended up being, again, arguably the top player available in the draft. So it's been a big, exciting night for Seattle. We can look forward to seeing Shane Wright on the ice and around Seattle during development camp next week, and rounds 2 through 7 continue tomorrow here in Montreal. I'd give you back to Piper Shaw, who's going to tell you a little bit more about the newest member of the Seattle Kraken.
Thank you. We're back at 32 Bar and Grill. Piper Shaw and JT Brown here with you. JT, an exciting day for hockey fans, for Kraken fans, as the Kraken pick Shane Wright. But I want to think back to Matty Beniers and how he was able to make an impact with the team pretty much, right away in his first year. But that's not necessarily always the case. What does the path look like for young players when they're just starting to make their way into the NHL?
Well, there's definitely a little bit of a difference when it comes to schedule and the flights and moving all around. There's a lot of games across the United States and in Canada that you have to play, plus the amount of games with the back-to-back. So one, just getting adjusted to the schedule, that's the first thing. But, I think another good thing that Seattle does have is that good veteran leadership. You have guys that have been in the league that have done this. Some have won a Stanley Cup as well. So having that type of leadership to kind of show them the ropes as they're guiding along this process is something that's really key.
This is just day 1 of the draft, of course.